I'm calling to order the first Cable Advisory Committee meeting. We are officially in open meeting at 6:08 PM. So before we get started, Jeffrey, we just have to organize the board because it is a new board. We have to do the positions. So I'm gonna open the floor for nominations for board chair. Would anybody like to nominate somebody for chair?
I can nominate Katrina.
Okay. Do I hear any seconds for the
I'll
nomination?
second it.
Okay, so congratulations, Katrina.
Yay.
Are you okay with that?
I'm fine with it, yeah. I was either that or the clerk, because I'm good with taking notes, but I'm totally fine with running.
Okay, so now we need nominations for a vice chair. Do I have any nominations for a vice chair?
I'll nominate Vinny.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second.
And I need nominations for a clerk. Do I have any nominations for clerk?
How about you, Bill? I'll nominate Bill. He looks like he likes to take notes.
Yeah, okay.
Do I have
He
a
says
second?
reluctantly.
Second.
Perfect. Okay, so I don't see anybody here for open session, so we're gonna just bypass right through that, and I'm gonna turn it over to Jeffrey. He is our attorney over at KP Law, and he's gonna help guide you through what we need to do for the license renewal process.
Hello, everybody. As you just heard, my name is Jeff Blake, and I don't know how much of this process you have been through, but our purpose here is for you as the cable access is to determine whether your current provider's license in your charter is in compliance with their current license, and then the future cable needs of your community. And in that second basket is the future cable needs of your community, including the monetary amounts that you have. Currently, right now, I believe that you guys are at $65,000 for what is known as a PEG grant, and then you get 1.25% of all gross revenues from the cable provider's gross revenues. I don't know how much you know about it, but you can get up to 5% of the annual gross revenues, and the cable grants, the capital grants are typically something that we negotiate based on your possible needs. So what we typically ask the committees to do is that we want you to kind of do all the legwork. I don't know, I think you have a PEG access provider, is that correct?
Yes, that would be Brittany, correct? Yes.
Station manager, or you're talking about?
The station itself, you have a
Yes,
station,
I'm-
so you
yes.
have.
They broadcast on 2 channels, and I manage both of those channels.
Okay, so you must have equipment, probably some equipment needs upgrading.
Yep.
You probably pay people, I don't know if you, lease, wherever your station is, you have cameras, et cetera, et cetera. What we like to see is, it's kind of a twofold, usually with respect to the first one, whether or not they're, in compliance with their current license. I haven't heard anything from Nicole and I haven't heard anything from the town, so I have to assume that Charter is doing what they say they've been doing. I've gotta be honest with you, I don't have very many. Actually, this go around, I don't have any that aren't complying with their license. There might be an outage here or there, but there's always a decent reason for it. Tree came down, storm, et cetera, et cetera. So the big demand for you guys is, what I need you to do is I need you to be able to provide me with a couple of things. I'd like you to, if you wanted to hold what is known as an ascertainment hearing, you would notice it. I think, we provided you with the documents, but if we don't, I've got a sample notice. And what you would do is, at that hearing, you would listen to the community. You know, what do the community want? What are the community, criticisms, or what do they like right now about this? And that will give us a flavor for how we start negotiating with the cable provider. I will tell you that we can be successful in negotiating certain types of channels. For example, we want sports, we want news, we want, whatever. But what we typically can't do, because it's federally regulated, is we can't say we want the Golf Channel. You guys, I don't know where your major market is right now. Is your major market, do you guys get a Boston channel
Do
for news?
any of you have cable television?
Yes,
So what are the local, like the networks, like network news, nightly news?
Boston
Are
25.
they out of Boston? Okay.
Channel 7.
Okay, yeah, they're out of Boston.
All right, so you guys are lucky. I mean, believe it or not, towns like Warren get it out of Hartford, Connecticut. And the way the law is, we have no say over that. You know, they're a Massachusetts town, probably closer to Boston than Hartford. I don't know, but the way they draw their circles, a Massachusetts town gets their local news from Hartford, Connecticut. But in any event, and then I think the big one that I would need you guys to interface with us is the, getting a pro forma. How much do you guys need to run your station? And unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, depending upon how we look at it, I'm gonna need a 10-year forecast. I say fortunately because, as we all know, streaming is taking over and cable is slowly dying. We have the ability to at least lock them in for 10 years. I will tell you that the way our negotiations are going with everybody else is Charter, Comcast are all negotiating a certain per subscriber amount, a buck per subscriber or something like that. But in any event, we were able to kind of lock them into something. And then I also, in your budget, I'd like it to be broken out. You would have your operation and maintenance. That would be a number, and that typically comes from a share of the gross annual revenue. Remember, I told you, you guys are currently at 1.25. You could, the maximum amount under the Cable Act is 5%, but it's that particular money goes for operation and maintenance. So it would be nice if I could get a figure from you that what you project operation and maintenance is going to be. We'll try to project that out over 10 years. And then the capital grants that we get, they're not substantial. You're somewhat of a small town, so there's not a lot of money that the cable company's gonna be making, but at the same time, we are usually successful in negotiating capital grants. We are most successful when you're able to provide us with documentation of, and I don't know the names of all the equipment, but you've got a 25-year-old head end or whatever you want to call it, and you need a new one, and you're estimating it's going to cost $26,000, and then because you get that, you're going to need something else, and we put together. I'm not going to call it a wish list because we have to be realistic, but we put together a list of what our realistic capital needs to continue providing the PEG services. So I would definitely want to work with you on that. Once we've been able to get all those numbers together, then we start doing a negotiation. And what would happen is, typically Charter would send us over a draft license. They will likely have the same, or believe it or not, maybe a little bit less than they're giving you now. We would go back and forth with our numbers and our backup, and they're all looking for our reports and our pro formas. We would be able to provide them with our, what we call realistic capital needs and our realistic operation and maintenance needs. And, we go back and forth from there. I would probably, and I'm not 100% sure how this would work. Typically, I work with you guys, then we come to an agree, we all back and forth, and you finally say, okay, Jeff, I think that's the best we can do. And at that point, we go before the select board and, we ask the select board to sign the license, to grant the license. And you and I get up there and I will provide them with an executive summary. Your chair and I get up there and, the whole board can come, committee can come, but usually it's the chair. We get up in front of the select board, we present it, and, we recommend that they sign the license because we believe it'll meet your future cable related needs. And that's it in a nutshell. Now, it sounded pretty quick. Believe me, these things take a while, partly because you guys are probably, a lot of you are new to it. You're trying to figure out how much money you need, the ascertainment, et cetera. You're gonna hold a hearing. Maybe you'll hold two or three. It's really up to you. We have to hold at least one ascertainment hearing. But at the same time, I have some communities that hold 3 or 4 or 5. It will be all up to you. And I think what will happen is you can probably gauge how many of these you really want to hold based on attendance, right? The first one, 3 people come, you're probably going to say, yeah, you know what, I don't think we need too many more. But if, 60 people come, yeah, hey, let's hear what they have to say. Everybody couldn't talk. So, once we do that, that takes a little bit of time. The negotiations back and forth with Charter, we're finding, have become painfully slow. Painfully slow. So it's probably best that we start the process now and we start moving forward and we start the negotiation as quickly as we can. I think that's all I have for the process. Happy to answer questions, comments.
Okay, I have questions.
I have a question. Jeffrey, do you have a recent contract with Charter where they were the sole provider in a town that you successfully got a grant?
Yeah, we've been successful in the grants. It's just, frankly, how much. Yes, I can get you a Charter license. Certainly a draft one that we recently had. Yeah, I can get you one.
Okay, yeah, just in my experience of late, Charter has been not giving grants with the new contracts. So I'm interested to hear, your experience.
So what Charter has been doing is if they give 5% of the GAR, they don't give grants.
Okay, gotcha.
So we sit down and try to run the numbers, right?
Okay,
we're only gonna take 3%, but we want a $100,000 grant. The other thing that you can do if you want is the DTC has, type in the Google Massachusetts cable television licenses, and you can go to a DTC website and they have, well, they're supposed to, if the towns send them in, they'll have all of the licenses. From 2014 forward, so you can click on those if you want to get a smattering of what Charter will give you. You can see you probably don't want to look at some of the bigger communities because the bigger communities, they make more money, they give more. But you can do that. But I will tell you, it is really a lot of it's subscriber based. I don't know how many subscribers you guys have. But a lot of it, in order to compare apples to apples, make sure you're looking at a similar subscriber base.
Yep.
Does anybody happen to know how many subscribers we have?
No, you're probably receiving quarterly payments from Charter.
Yep.
And on that, it will say how many subscribers you are. And then also you're getting, I think once a year, maybe twice a year, you're getting 50 cents for every subscriber. And you'll get a letter that comes with that.
So I've already reached out to the treasurer collector's office to get confirmation from them that we've been receiving the payment that we're supposed to be receiving. I'm just waiting to hear back from them about that. So as soon as I have that information, I'll forward that over to all of you.
And then another question, who keeps or compiles the data around the day-to-day operating expenses associated with keeping it running? And to Attorney Blake's point.
Yeah,
Employment.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that question.
So my question is who's in charge of or keeps track of the day-to-day operating expenses? So if we're creating this budget, who keeps track of how much we're spending on employees, the equipment, any leases we have on things, running the station? Who has that information so we can?
Sure. I mean, most likely that would fall on the manager. Is that you?
Well, no, I'm the station manager, however, I can manage that, but it is a conflict of interest because I am a contractor. I am one of the bills being paid, so me managing the bills being paid isn't great if I'm one of the bills being paid.
Okay, so who does?
In the
So,
past, I
the
don't
way
think
the way
anyone has.
We often design these things is, right, everything comes into the town. And you've got a couple of options how you can pay your cable television. You can do pay your PEG access providers. You can do it through a revolving fund under 4453 F and a half, or you can do retained receipts under 53 F and 3/4. So there would be some type of an accounting. Usually there's an agreement. I don't know if you guys have one. Usually there's an agreement between your PEG access providers and the town, the select board. And in there, we will typically require quarterly reports to showing us what you bought, where you bought it, et cetera, et cetera. So that would serve as the ability to kind of track everything that's going on.
So the treasurer's office might have the info we need?
Yeah, that's who's going to, yeah.
Okay, because I
But
mean,
there's really not a lot of activity,
yeah,
financial activity
Okay.
for cable access.
okay, just trying to determine
Yep.
if we're figuring out a budget. And then is there any, do we know if there's any proposed upgrades from like a quote standpoint for how much it's gonna cost if we were to upgrade equipment and what's needed, emergent, and kind of break it out, like this, we need this now, we need this
We will
later?
have to create
Is that
it
what
and we
we're
kind of,
working
yeah, that's something that's part of the ascertainment
Okay,
hearing documents, that 10-year forecast as far as like what we anticipate we'll need, et cetera. So I will put that together as far as what I think, we'll need over the next 10 years, equipment wise, and then have quotes for, what it will be, what those expenses will be.
okay.
Do you guys have HD? Because we have, depending upon the size of the community, we have been successful in negotiating at least one HD channel, and I don't know how many
But they
channels you guys.
they make you
oh,
pay,
actually,
but they make you pay for the HD channel. They don't give it for free.
Yeah, well, they said that. We've gotten a couple of free ones lately, and
You
I
have?
might be thinking Comcast.
Okay, yeah,
But I can look back.
Yeah,
We're negotiating a number of charter licenses right now.
I don't know of any of Charter giving anybody a free HD channel. We can get an HD channel, but they make you pay. And it should be known, that we are extremely interested in getting this done as quickly as possible. We've relocated our origination location, which is not covered in the current contract. So Charter is charging us monthly for originating from a different location. So the sooner we can get a new contract with the updated origination address to the new location, the better.
They're charging you?
Correct.
Are you using two different locations, or are you just
No,
switched
but-
out one for the other?
No, we switched one for the other, but the existing contract explicitly states an address we are no longer we're about to no longer be broadcasting from. So we're operating outside of the contract agreement. So the sooner we get a new contract with an updated address, the better.
All right, I'm looking at the current license.
I can, hold on one sec, I marked it.
page 25.
You have Peggy,
Yeah,
Peggy
so-
origination
so it's
sites are designated as town hall, the
Yeah.
center school,
Yep,
and the senior center.
yep. And we are now at the town hall on Gardner Road, which is not one of those 3 locations, so they're charging us.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Huh.
so I just wanted to make you aware, so we're very interested in expediting this as much as we can. I know Charter drags their feet, but as far as our end,
Big time.
we wanna get this done as soon as possible.
Understood, and now that you're saying that, I'm sorry, I'm just glancing through this license,
Yeah, no
I don't
worries.
like the fact that they're charging you guys.
No, we don't like
for-
it either.
It's not like you've got 4 origination sites, you had 3 and you changed one, so you still got 3.
Well, they
but
put
You
in,
guys are,
we put in 3 origination sites, but we only ever utilized 1 origination site. They put in those other 2 as like, they anticipated they would originate from those locations within that 10 years of the contract, but it never happened. So we've only ever had 1 origination site.
all right, did you ask to install it, did they just not install
we-
them in the other sites, or did you just, you never did it?
It just never happened. It
Okay.
wasn't asked of them because the senior center never got built. And what was the other location, the school?
Center school.
Yeah, the school, it wasn't an actual need.
Okay, and the reason I'm asking is because I actually had another one of these in a community where they refused 15 years ago to provide the origination site, and I was able to at least get a little extra from them because of that, but
Yeah.
doesn't sound like it's the same, and it was a charter license. Doesn't sound like it was the same, the same issue, so.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah, I will
probably,
provide you with my, I think I did a recent one in Westboro with charter.
okay,
I think that's the last one I and I will tell you, I know that everybody wants to do it quickly.
of course,
I know that. And I will warn you, charter of all the 3 carriers,
yeah, I
in
know,
our experience, is extraordinarily slow.
yes,
And, I know that it's not easy getting all of you guys together. And there may be instances where all of you guys have to get together and we need to discuss. So, I just ask, if we're trying to push this thing along, we'll do the best we can.
yeah,
But on your end, if, try to work with us on that.
yeah,
I know that you got 4 people there, 5 people there. It's almost impossible to get everybody together for one night. But we're finding that charter is they've been very difficult.
So we just wrapped up contract negotiations with Charter in Harvard, and that took around 2 years. Is that sort of the window of time that you're looking at?
I would like to tell you no.
Right,
And the reason I'd like to tell you no is because we have been, we've got probably 30 licenses right now in the firm.
yeah,
Probably 7 of those are Charter and then Comcast and Verizon. And it seems like we have been able to get over a lot of the hurdles, a lot of the boilerplate, a lot of the, are you going to pay for an HD? Are you going to pay for an SD? Or we don't like this language, we don't like that language. So I'd like to tell you that based on that, you're going to be able to go a quicker. But again, a lot of it has to do with charter.
yeah, no, that's, yeah, Charter's the thing that slows it down. I'm well aware. I just didn't know if maybe you had had better luck.
I have to say, I think that one I negotiated in Westboro, the last one with charter, I think Bill left in January and
Oh, yeah,
handed it over to me. I think it had been going on for about I don't know, a couple of months, and then we finally ended it up, that was January 25, we finally ended up probably February, March of 26, so that's
And they
less than
had-
2 years.
Yeah, and they had some turnover, so I think that played a role in delaying the process, but yeah. Okay,
So,
Yeah, unfortunately, the guy that was there, who was competent, easy to get along with, is the turnover, and now
Yeah.
we're stuck with others, but we've been able to make some headway with them.
okay.
so our current license expires in November. What does that mean if we miss that deadline?
Nothing. This contract just
Nothing.
continues.
Okay,
Yeah, she's right, you just keep, as long as they keep broadcasting and sending us the money, we're negotiating under like a holdover contract or whatever, so. Yeah, if it makes you feel any better, I've got some that are 3 years, I have some that are expired beginning of COVID.
And is charter our only option, or can we look at others?
I mean, you can look at others, but no other company is going to invest in that sort of infrastructure for a town that's this sparsely populated.
Okay.
So, I mean, you are welcome to,
I
but
just
in
didn't know if
reality,
If
it's
charter
not,
is so difficult, if we
it's
can.
not gonna happen.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
No, fair,
Yeah,
I just don't know.
We're
so.
seeing Verizon go into some of our towns, they're going into Watertown,
It's a city.
Right, a really
they're going
populated
somewhere else,
town.
but you are right, I mean, how many subscribers do you have, do you know off the top, just rough guess?
no, population wise, we're very small. I believe,
We still have like 4,400 people
yeah,
in
I believe
town,
we're
roughly.
just shy of
If I-
4,500.
If I had to, I haven't seen any of the documents, but my guess would be like maybe 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know if that's enough, I mean,
Right.
we deal with Verizon and Comcast enough where, and I know Verizon is starting to try to expand, I think what they're trying to do is lay their fiber so that they can get internet.
Right.
You know, people to stream off it, but in my next conversation with them, I'll ask them if there's any interest in branching out to you guys.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Right, can't hurt,
Yeah, it
if
doesn't hurt
that's
to
something
ask.
you're interested in.
Best case scenario.
But I wouldn't get my hopes up.
No, but you can't know unless you
Yeah, of
throw it
course.
out there. Who knows?
would that replace charter or would that be?
No,
like,
that would be an option, so then, but the town would then enter into an agreement with Verizon, just like you're doing with Charter now. And then people would have the option to choose either Verizon or Charter. It depends too, like in some towns, they might only offer it in like part of the town, like they might run the cables only like in half your town, so it just really depends.
Okay.
Okay, so we should create kind of an action plan, so, I will create a 10-year forecast, and then depending, I don't know if you wanna schedule an ascertainment hearing or plan for an ascertainment hearing. Cause that's something that we're required to do, the hearing. And then people just talk about what they like, what they want, whatever. Do you find, Jeff, do you find that it matters to them if there's a good showing at the ascertainment hearing, or do they even pay attention to that? I feel like,
Well, they come, Nancy Clark, who's their representative.
Right.
She'll dial in if that's an option, she'll,
Yeah.
and, you know, that's a hard one. I think that it does have, if people come and they complain a little bit and, or they're happy and they want, you know, they talk it up, I think it does matter. I think you get a lot of people.
all right,
And on that note, I would suggest you don't do it in the next week or two. I think you gotta get 2 weeks notice anyways.
oh, yeah,
But
no,
people are going back
But
to
I-
school and all that. I would suggest, you know, sometime October, November, something like that, I think
Right.
is plenty.
well, that's why I was just thinking as far as timing, cause if we push it out a bit, then there's time to, you know, recruit people to come and talk and participate in the meeting, if you feel that it's worthwhile to put in the effort. And you're saying you think it does matter, so, yeah, we'd probably push it out a
I
month or
do.
two. Yeah, okay.
Yep, I do.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions for the attorney?
Please call me Jeff.
So I think we are all set with Jeff. So Jeff, thank you for your time. I think
thank
we're all set and you're free to leave us.
So who should are you gonna continue to go back and forth with I mean, do we have one contact person? How does that wanna work?
Now that we have a chair for the board, she is gonna be the point of contact.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
will coordinate everybody with their contact information so you guys can all work together. I will be in the background as assistant if I'm needed, but essentially they are flying on their own.
You may wanna CC me on communications so I
Yep.
can answer questions and
Yep,
stuff.
I will make sure that your contact is in the communications as well.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Well, it was a pleasure meeting everyone, and we'll try to make this as painless as we possibly can for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a great night.
Thank you.
Night.
Bye.
Alright, so you can just end that meeting.
Yep.
So I have a question. Does all of the money that we get from Charter go to Brittany, your group? We
goes
don't have,
to-
we don't have any other expenses beyond that, or do we?
You have expenses for equipment, so like these cameras that were installed here, the microphone, this whole system, that came out of the cable funds.
Okay,
But most of the expenses on a regular basis are paying my invoices.
okay.
But yeah, you're only doing the 1.25%.
Correct.
I guess we'll have to do the math, but like every other town that I manage does the 5%.
What do their grants look like, though?
They don't have grants,
Oh,
but that's why you have to look at.
yeah, to
look
see
at
how many
the-
subscribers
Well,
to
we did,
offset,
it
which
looks
is
like in the
better.
contract, we did get $65,000.
Yeah,
Yes, but that was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Correct.
And like the other towns that I've done, they previously in their 10-year contracts all had grants, like I manage Harvard, they had a grant of 120, Boylston had a grant of 100, Berlin had a grant of 100, and now nothing. I should say Harvard did get a grant, and they did some sort of gymnastics to get that grant and like some exclusivity clauses with programming and stuff, not putting things online and only airing them on TV, et cetera, to get that grant. That's the only town that I've managed that's got a grant, but they had to work for it.
it's not cost effective anymore.
So,
We'll have to wait till we have data.
yeah, I think hearing that they'll do a grant if your percentage is lower, then it's just a matter of just kind of doing the math. The grant is like a guaranteed amount of money. The percentage completely is dependent upon how many subscribers you have. Subscriptions are going down. They really went down like around COVID time. And then they kind of plateaued and they've kind of stayed the same. They are incrementally going down, but not crazy. But we can look at the quarterly payments throughout whatever, the last 10 years or something, and you can track it and we can see what the loss has
Budget for the
been.
loss, yeah.
Right, exactly. And then you project how much you're gonna be getting, coming in over the next 10 years and then decide if it makes sense to go after a grant or to just up your percentage.
Okay,
But even if you up your percentage, I'd go after the grant, you just try and just let them say no.
okay,
And then maybe they say yes to some of the other stuff you asked for.
okay.
Do you know, does the high school, middle school, they don't have an access channel, right? The Quabbin school?
So you have, in the town of Hubbardston, you have 3 public access channels, but one of them originates from your high school. I think you have a regional high school.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have 3 PEG channels. 2 of them originate from here, 1 originates from the high school.
Is that used?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I think it was at one time. And maybe it still is, I don't know.
High school's in Barry, so would that be sent broadcast from Barry?
The high school, I don't know where the high school is. I
It's in
don't,
Barry.
okay. So usually, historically, when you have those educational channels originating from the high school, there's like a high school video production course or whatever, and they're responsible for creating content and airing the programming and that stuff, and they kind of use that as a teaching tool or whatever. But I don't know if they're currently using it or not.
If they are, could we get grants to help fund that studio, or is that?
You could, yeah, it would be worthwhile to talk to them to see if they're using it, and then, yeah, cause you'd have to find out how that stuff's getting paid for, cause they probably would have a video server of some kind, find out where that money comes from, and then we can pretend like we would buy their replacement or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea, that's, another way to sort of say like, hey, we need money for this. Yeah, so I would definitely reach out to the school and see if they're using that public access channel, and if so, sort of what the status is, et cetera. And definitely the server, I'll have to look. It's over 10 years old, and life expectancy on broadcast servers is in the 5 to 10 year range, so we absolutely need to replace it anyways.
So we squeezed it, very good.
So,
Frugality at its best.
yes. But it's something you can, it's something you can list, like, hey, we need to replace this, it's, X amount of
already
years
passed.
old.
Okay.
Yeah, it's past its life, it's going to fail, so that's a big ticket item that you can say, hey, we need the money for this.
Okay.
Is the studio still in Rutland?
What's that?
Is the studio for this cable, is that still in Rutland?
No, we don't have a studio, so right now it's broadcasting from a room out of the police station, and it's gonna be moved here into this room.
'Cause, yeah, when we first started cable in 1986,
Yep,
we had a studio in Rutland, we did a live TV show broadcast from Rutland
yep,
studio. And if I edited a video, I had to go to Rutland and use their equipment to edit it.
yeah. Rutland probably still has a station, a TV station, but it probably just broadcasts exclusively in Rutland.
I understood that the fiber optic net from Rutland to the center of town, is fiber optic, and then from there to, is coaxial to the rest of the town, from that point.
For cable television or for internet?
Cable television,
The feed from Charter?
yeah, from the Rutland studio.
Okay, okay. All right, so yeah, maybe there's a head end in Rutland that Charter uses to distribute.
So that's still part of Charter?
I don't know. We don't broadcast anything from Rutland. We don't receive a video signal from Rutland, from their public access specifically. As long as I've been here, we haven't received anything from Rutland.
Okay.
So the town has a resident that's on the Quabbin School Committee, correct?
I can find out.
I believe we have
I would
somebody that.
assume you probably
that
have to,
yeah,
right?
fits on, so that may be the proper person to reach out to see, to ask that question at one of their,
Well, at least they could direct you to whoever you need to talk to.
yeah.
Please forgive me, I, like all of you, are new, so I am learning most of this as I go.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions.
To your credit, Christina, you don't appear to be new.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you. Fake it till you make it, right?
So,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, no, I was just gonna say the big things on the contract that we wanna change are the, that 13.8, section A, the addresses for the origination sites,
What page on?
page 25.
Okay.
My recommendation would be to leave Town Hall Annex, leave Hubbardston Center School, and then swap out the proposed senior center and put this address. They like that a lot better when you just make smaller changes, like
Okay.
swapping. So that would be my recommendation. I mean, obviously the attorney will, but that's the one there. And then here, 13.1 on page 24. This is service to schools and municipal buildings. This basically makes it so that they provide free cable television to that site. So right now, the contract just says one site. But,
Then you get-
and that's at
10:07.
whatever, it's Slade, where the police station is or whatever. And you may want cable television here to know that you're broadcasting or whatever, so if possible, you wanna add additional subscriber network drops. Because those are complimentary.
I got another meeting, I'm going into that one late,
Okay,
so we're done here that I can,
Yeah,
yes, as long
Yeah.
as there's 3 of you present, that's perfectly fine. Yep, you know where you're going upstairs?
yeah, I do.
Okay,
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
so yeah, those are the two big ones, and then, yeah, we just have to do the math to see if it makes more sense to pursue a grant or the prescription thing, or the subscription thing. The one thing is like, with the grants, you're at the mercy of Charter. The subscription rate, you control that, and I will say, this would be kind of, but you can change your subscription rate outside of this contract.
Okay.
So you could get the grant from them, keep the 1.25, and then I think you give, I think it's 6 months' notice or something like that, and you notify them that you're changing the subscription rate to whatever. So you could get the grant from them and then pull the switcheroo and say, yeah, and now we're taking 3%.
Does the
Some often
subscription rate, is that specifically for people who subscribe to the cable? Or does that also include people who subscribe for their internet?
No, just cable television. It's a
Alright.
percentage of cable television sales. So like, we, I say town, cable, whatever, get more money from somebody who has cable and HBO than we do that somebody who just has like basic cable. It's a percentage of their sale. You'll see like on your bill.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it says, but it's a line item,
So the more services that they choose to take,
the more money.
yeah, so it's.
And does that include like the Charter Spectrum TV app, where that is obviously streaming?
Do you pay for that?
Yeah, you pay extra for that.
It probably doesn't, because they're not gonna give any extra other than they have
Stream.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just whatever's outlined in the cable
That-
television act.
Do you know if that's something we could add in? Because if they're pitching that to,
You could try, right now it's been pursued for, I don't even know how many years now. Maybe they've been working on it for like 10, but basically there's an organization called Mass Access, which is basically like a lobbying group for all the public access channels within Massachusetts. And they've been pursuing legislation that would take a percentage of streaming sales within the state to fund public access television, because the purpose of the Cable Act and the purpose of this is to get a percentage of the money that's used to give people, entertainment or whatever, and take some of those funds so that they can create their own local entertainment or media, whatever. And the way that the legislation was written, it was in a time before the internet.
yeah,
And government is notoriously slow to react to changes. So it basically is like putting it in line with like where people are consuming the media now, because it's no longer really cable television, now it's online, but it's the same thing. So they've been pursuing this legislation for quite some time. Each year it gets like a little bit closer. I think the more that channels keep losing funding, the more urgent it gets, and maybe it won't pass for a few years or something. I think inevitably it will, because that's gonna be the future of funding for public access, because cable television itself will go away eventually, so, there is pursuit of that.
1,000 subscribers. Move on.
What Charter,
That was just a wild guess, I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
probably accurate.
what Charter is doing is they're offering the streaming services through them.
Yes,
So it's not a separate line item for the streaming services, but I'm sure it's included in the fee. So
Not necessarily, because that's to their advantage. If
I don't
There's-
know, I,
yeah.
without looking at a bill, I wouldn't be able
Yeah,
to say.
it's hard to tell.
I don't
yeah,
know for
it
sure.
doesn't show up on my bill.
It does not?
No, and
Okay.
there's a whole bunch of streaming services that they offer.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be, I can't
But
imagine
even
them
if
doing
that
it
was
for-
on your bill, that line item, it wouldn't be a percentage of those streaming options, because they're not legally obligated to, so there's no way they would.
But if they're including it in the cable section of the bill,
Yeah, but I bet you they don't include it in their percentage thing. I'd be really surprised if they did. Just for the same reason they're charging us to broadcast from this location, because
How
in
much
the
are they
contract.
charging you anyways? or-
What's that?
How much are they charging for that?
I knew the question was coming and my computer was tied up, but I think I have the email.
While you pull that up, what are the steps that we need to take to set up an ascertainment hearing?
I'm gonna find out and give.
It's just
Okay.
like any other public hearing where you have to do like it in the newspaper or something, and it has to be.
Who's responsible for doing that? That's like my question. Do we say, hey
You
guys, we
probably,
need this? and then
the town clerk probably does it for you,
Okay.
if I had to
will-
guess.
I will talk to Mel and see
Okay.
how we're gonna set that up.
But it's just like any public hearing.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell her. It's like any, planning board probably has public hearings, whatever.
Yep.
It's the same protocol.
Yep.
Okay. And then if we could also get a listing of dates, probably beginning of October, good for, I'm out of the country for September, so I'm in Italy, so. But October is fine, and that's kind of what the attorney had suggested too. So that we have like.
Do we need to have any parameters for?
Well, that's what she's gonna find
I mean,
out.
to give, there's certain things that we can't cover in the contract. And do we let people know to come here, these are the areas that we can focus on, or are we just gonna open it up
So
and they can
I
complain
don't-
about?
I don't think that we're talking about any of this. We're just saying, what do you like about the cable TV that you currently use? What stations are you using? What would you like to see?
Yeah, so it is good to sort of like prep people for the ascertainment hearing, because otherwise you get people who are kind of confused and they come in and complain about cable internet or something, and that's not what this is about. So it's good to prep people beforehand, and it's also good to like kind of recruit people to participate in the meeting. So we definitely would want to do it hybrid, because I think we get higher participation rates if it's hybrid. But people to come in and talk about, I watch all the, meetings on TV, and it's really important for me to know what's going on in town, or I like to watch the Memorial Day parade or whatever. You get that sort of thing. And even if the people can't participate in the meeting when it actually happens, they can submit written testimony or comment, email, whatever, and then you include that in your ascertainment report that gets submitted to Charter. So it's worth our while to sort of get people to give feedback.
Right, but if we just open up and say, first of all, I think most people are gonna say, what is the Cable Advisory Committee?
Right, yeah, no,
which is
most
what I
people
said.
are like, what is public access?
Yeah, but if they come in and say, I want the Golf Channel, I mean, Jeff said that can't be put in the contract. If they come in and say, I'm watching this channel and it keeps on going out, well, that's a customer service issue. It's not something we can put forward to Charter. I know it's not in the contract, but in the information that you sent me, Christina, it suggested that if people had trouble with customer service from Charter, they could come to us and we could try to intercede. I think that was on the state's website. But I don't think that's what this meeting would be about.
No, I mean, like Brittany said though, to hear their grievances, especially if it seems to be a repeat grievance, if people seem to have the same concern about, this one channel for multiple people, then yeah, I think it's beneficial for them to kind of air that and say, okay, well, these are the repeat issues that we're seeing amongst the residents, so clearly there's something going on there.
Could we use this meeting also for like what they would want from public access? Like if they would want a studio?
Yes, yeah,
Access to
yes, if
additional
they like
whatever.
hopes and dreams,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Because this is like a meeting that Charter kinda is paying attention to, so if the people in the town have these big hopes and dreams and they want this and they want that and whatever, Charter sees like, oh, there is a need, like people want this station to grow. Like if, basically, more than anything, like if nobody showed up and nobody said they wanted anything, they'd be like, we don't need to give you a grant, no one even cares about cable,
Yeah.
So,
Or if there's interest, it's to their betterment anyways, because more subscribers means more revenue, so.
right, yeah. So I found the data, so the one-time charges for the move from the police station to here was $1,335. And then there are $676 in monthly reoccurring charges for originating from this location. So that $676 is every single month until we get a new contract.
Which could be 2 years potentially.
It could be, yes.
Okay.
So anyways, we don't bring in a lot of money. I think it's less than 40 a year. And like my invoices are close-ish to that, so like, this is gonna hurt
Mhm.
operations. So, the sooner we can get a new contract, the better.
Okay.
But yeah, but he's 100% right, Charter drags their feet like crazy. But, you know, as long as we don't completely drag our feet, then, you know, we'll be doing our part.
Okay, so to confirm, action plan, Brittany, you're gonna create the 10-year forecast.
Yes.
Christina, you're gonna find out how we go about setting up an ascertainment hearing, and then finding out from the treasurer's office the exact breakdown of costs
Yes.
and income that we get. Do you,
Oh, you know, what'd be good too is, the quarterly payments from Charter, say like over the last 10 years.
oh yeah, so we can figure out,
Yeah, so we can figure out trends. My 10-year forecast, I'll make kind of a draft, but the school portion may play a role, so we'll need that information.
yeah,
If there is a school component that we can say that.
for sure. Vinny, do you mind doing the tail work on that?
That's fine.
Please, thank you.
I will figure out who is the resident that's on the committee and get back to you with that information.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And then from there, then we can chat about what day is gonna be best to have the hearing, based
Yep.
off of what the town's availability is for the room as well, cause that's built into that. Anything else that we're missing?
So one thing just to kind of float to keep in mind, I know we're talking October possibly for the ascertainment. We announced at the select board meeting last night the date for the fall town meeting. We have scheduled that for Tuesday, October 27th. So we just gotta make sure that we don't coincide them.
Oh, yeah.
So, separate dates.
Okay, yeah, so if you do you mind cross-referencing dates that are available and then things that we wouldn't wanna have?
The fall town meeting really is just
the
the
only
big
one.
one, yeah. Other
Okay.
than that, it's just like the board and committee meetings, which really don't affect what we're doing.
Okay,
But we'll know once we start talking dates, and obviously we'll have to coordinate with your schedules to find out what will work for you guys to get that in.
okay. Perfect. Any other questions?
So yeah, Brittany, with that $600 a month,
Yeah.
do you have like, maybe you can't tell right now, but like an estimate of when it becomes like a serious problem? Like if we have 5 months or 10 months before it really starts affecting
Well-
operations?
It's just gonna be coming out of the budget, so like there was a operating budget for the year that was approved at town meeting. And we have to operate within those parameters, and I am confident that we'll have to scale back stuff,
Okay,
or else we're going to be outside of that budget.
yeah.
We could, at fall town meeting, pull from reserves and add to the budget in anticipation of outspending it. That probably would be worthwhile, like looking at the math or whatever. There is some money in reserves, not a ton, but there is money in reserves. So you might wanna do that, because that's, I mean, I don't do math well in my head, but 676 times 12, yeah, that's $8,000. And when your operating budget is like 40 normally,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Mm.
The other thing to keep in mind in October is, since the town meeting is going to discuss phase 2 for this building, I'm sure that the Public Safety Building Committee is gonna have a number of hearings too, public hearings and info sessions.
I don't know where they stand on that. I know that was the original plan. I would assume they're still moving towards that, but I haven't heard anything yet. I could definitely check on the status of that as well.
One
Well,
thing
I mean-
very optimistic is there a space in this building to put like a studio that residents could use? If, and then we can get that budget potentially, or not budget.
It would be,
Grant, yeah.
it would be worthwhile to, as part of the 10-year plan, plan on having a studio space,
Yeah.
even though it's unlikely to happen. It's very plausible because this is a new building. People are gonna be moving out, they're planning on a redesign, whatever, so you could make the case and be like, we're planning on putting a studio in, you know. Hubbardston's never had a studio, we have this new space, da 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 da, so.
I've seen it basic, I work with the Acton, Public Access a lot. I'm in financial services, so they're a client of mine, so I've done a lot of stuff with them, and they have been able to keep the station afloat with their, they rent the space to some people who, I don't know, they do cooking classes and whatever, but people enjoy it, they watch it, and so it definitely is something I think that we could use as a good revenue source.
Okay.
I think we have enough people in town that would be,
Yeah.
I don't know, some people come in, they do a reading corner and whatever, people do all kinds of crazy things. But yeah.
We're doing stuff at the upgrades to the library too. Could that be a possibility to put it in the library
If-
or?
What we could do is put in a plan that we're like planning to put in a system like this with PTZ cameras to cover presentations or something, like, I don't know if like the Historical Society does stuff there or the library has special speakers come in, whatever. You could make an argument and say, oh, we want to put PTZ cameras in that space or whatever. Like a system like this. And that's a very big ticket item also.
And if we do get these grants, do they have to be used for what we are requesting?
Typically.
So usually the grants aren't necessarily like earmarked for anything other than like capital expenses. And to be honest, Charter never checks to see what you spent the money
Some
on.
do, so, yeah,
They
it's
do
good to
not,
know.
they do
don't
not
care.
check to see what you spent the money on, but they may. And like, so for example, like in Harvard, they got a grant. And part of the terms of the grant was that any programming created with equipment that was purchased with the grant money, Charter has 60-day exclusivity on that content, meaning it has to broadcast on TV for 60 days before it can be put online.
Okay.
But that's such a, and how are they gonna check that?
Yeah, yeah.
And they won't, because we won't hear from them again for 10 years, because they like barely finished the contract, they're not checking in on us.
Yeah, we're a tiny pea hole on there.
Yeah.
Their
I-
grants
we
picture
can,
things.
they may say that, they may go to that extent or whatever, and we'll be like, yep, okay, whatever, but the reality is they're not gonna check. They're getting out of the TV business, so.
Question, just because I'm not in the cable business.
Yeah.
What happens if we have a contract with Charter and 5 years from now they say that they close up shop? Do we just move on to whoever absorbs them and our contract stays in place, or how does that typically work?
No, if they closed up shop, then that's it, and they'd be in breach of contract, but they've been in breach of contract with many other towns, and like, it's a matter of whether you wanna pursue.
Which is not cost effective.
Right, it's not worth it to spend the money
So
to
you
sue
just find
them.
another company and hope for the
Yeah,
best.
but the reality is if they pack up shop, probably nobody else is coming back in.
Yeah.
Like people are gonna just have to use cable internet or, streaming, whatever.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good info.
I did some work for you. I found there's 4 members of the school committee from Hubbardston.
Look at that.
Okay.
You want me to send that to you?
Yes, please. Look at her doing my duties for me.
Something I could look up real quick.
So I guess the next question is, would you all like to set up another meeting prior to the ascertainment hearing?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
We're going to need probably a couple meetings before we do the ascertainment hearing.
Okay, so
Because we have to have our ducks in a row with the 10-year forecast and all that jazz.
does anybody else have any questions with where we're at so far? Okay, so then let's talk about setting your next meeting date, Ms. Chair,
Yeah, so I don't, everyone's availability? I know that we kind of chatted through that a little bit to schedule this meeting, but how does,
So Tuesday's definitely based off of the emails that I got from the three of you. Gary did not really give guidance. It seems like he's pretty
does
flexible
Gary
though.
use email? I love him, he's so cute.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on, but sometimes he responds to emails,
Okay.
but
He responded to me directly
Okay.
and said that he's retired and he's available whenever.
Okay.
Yeah.
but I would prioritize the three of
Yeah,
your
cause
schedules.
we only need 3 for the quorum, so
Right.
as long as we have 3, then
Yes.
we're good.
Does his 6:30 meeting that I had tonight, does that occur on every Tuesday?
So that
His first
meeting was
meeting
a
house?
surprise to me. I wasn't aware that there were any other meetings tonight when we scheduled this one.
Okay.
And then Gary reached out to me because he's on that committee and he's like, we're meeting on this day. There was nothing in the calendar, but apparently it is a recurring meeting. They meet every third Tuesday at 6:30. They just apparently do not put it in the calendar until right before.
Hopefully
cool.
within 48
So no third
hours.
Tuesdays.
Yes.
Are Tuesday evenings good for everyone?
Yeah.
Typically, they are for me as well. They're the easiest day for me to sneak out of work. Okay, so. Dun, dun.
So Brittany, based off of your experience, one of the things that we had kind of touched on is the frequency. Most of the boards tend to meet either once a month or twice a month. What do you think would be beneficial for this board?
I guess probably whenever we think we'll get our action items done. As soon as those action items are done, let's meet and.
Okay,
I would like to propose, at least for right now, until this is settled, that we do twice a month, so that it keeps us on target with the asks and the action plan. Because if we're coming and there's something that we need to talk about, we don't wanna wait a month and then now we're scheduling out another month to have a discussion about it. So at least temporarily, if we wanna propose meeting every 2 weeks, or at least twice a month, not every 2 weeks, twice a month,
okay,
to make sure that we're staying on track. And we can certainly adjust if there's no reason to have a meeting 2 weeks, because we know it's gonna take
Right.
us longer than that to get what we need to get.
Yep.
Then we'll just adjust as we go.
yep, cause we can
You're out of
put,
state all of September?
For the first 2
Oh,
weeks,
first 2 weeks, okay.
yes. Out of the country, not just the states.
Oh, country, okay.
Bye-bye, passport and all.
so
I've
do
been
we
planning this
want
vacation
to
for like 3
arrange
years.
for your next meeting to be when you return, or are you hoping to squeeze one in?
So we could,
before?
I could be available on September 1st if we think that that's appropriate amount of time for us to work on some of these things. If it's not, then I'm totally open to whatever people need to do. I don't leave until September 6th, so I could squeeze in a meeting.
First works for me.
Yeah, it's good with me.
And is the 6 o'clock timeframe best for everybody still? You wanna keep that? You wanna do a different time? Right, as of right now, on Tuesday the 1st, there's no other meetings scheduled at any point, so you have pretty wide choicing on when you wanna meet.
6,
Six
does
is
that
fine
work for
with
you,
me.
Brittany?
Yeah, that's fine. Earlier is better, so,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, so September 1st. There's 6 p.m.
And then do you wanna try to schedule the second one in September now?
Mhm.
I am not available the 22nd.
Okay, so, which is fine, because I'm just coming back from Italy. Does the 29th work?
I am available the 29th.
Shoot, what do I have here? Oh, I can't do the 29th.
Can look at different days of the week. I could just,
Wednesday?
oh Lord, oh, okay. I was just realizing that's like a wedding weekend.
Wednesday the 30th?
No, I'm headed to Georgia. I could
Okay.
do Monday the 28th, but there's probably Board of Selectmen meeting or something, or Select Board or something.
No, we are actually meeting on the 21st. And as of right now, there's nothing on for Monday, the 28th.
Could do the 28th.
Does that work Mondays? Monday, the 28th?
I could probably make it work.
If you can, it's okay.
Also,
The voluntary position, sir.
also, remote participation is an option too.
Okay.
Maybe, if we.
I'm going to make sure that this is working. It worked when we did our test this afternoon. I don't know what happened in between.
Leanne left and took the magic with her.
It doesn't make any sense, but anyways, yes,
Okay, so-
remote participation will be an option.
So September 28th is what we're aiming for the next one, same thing, another 6 p.m.
That's good for you.
I will get these added to the calendar tomorrow morning, and that will block off that date and time for you guys.
Okay.
Bill, I will get some templates over to you for the agenda and the meeting minutes and offer whatever guidance that you need.
Feel free to CC. I'm happy to help you.
Yes,
With,
yep.
I am a secretary on 2 other boards, so I'm familiar with how to write up minutes and stuff, so you're not alone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Just to make sure that we don't create any quorums or anything, I will probably exclude you from that email chain, just so that way, if there needs to be a reply all, there can be in this circumstance.
Okay.
It's just when there's 3 or more of you on the email.
Yeah, I'll be careful too. There'll be no discussion. It's just a
Yep,
formatting.
yes.
Yeah, a 3 quorum's great. My other boards is 9 quorum, which is a
Oh
pain
my
in the butt
God.
because some people don't show. We just did our summer summit and it was down to the wire. We needed 1 more person to show up and I'm like, you need to come. Period, end of discussion. We're not rescheduling this. No. It's a pain. Okay. All right. September 28th.
So what are we looking to do at the September 1st meeting?
We're gonna come back with these action items so that we can prepare for this ascertainment hearing.
So I'll have my draft of the 10-year forecast as best as I can complete it.
So you really won't have anything but creating the agenda.
I will do my darndest to get that financial stuff. I can't guarantee I will have it by September 1st. Accounting and the tax office is a little bogged down right now.
Yeah.
Still sorting through
Well,
the budget stuff.
Yeah, you're not going to need to figure out what you wanna ask for a grant or
But
the
to-
percentage. You're not gonna need that for the ascertainment report.
Correct.
That comes a little bit later, so
But
that's
even
less
just to
urgent.
get confirmation of that we've been receiving the things that we were supposed to be receiving. I have, the email's already out. I emailed them yesterday with the information that I need from them. It's just a matter of when they'll
Yeah.
get it to me.
Yeah, but it's not anything we need for like the next week or month, so like,
Perfect, okay.
it's not a huge deal. If the request is in, then
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Question, once we finally decide on the ascertainment hearing and the date that that's taking place and blah, blah, and how do we communicate that to residents? Do they get an email? Do we do a social media blast? Like, how does that?
It gets published in the newspaper.
Okay,
That's
that's it.
part of it.
But I would recommend that we
Yes.
That's what I was
put
gonna
it
say.
on social
Are we
media.
allowed to share on our
Yes,
personal
and we
pages and
can
stuff like that?
coordinate
Loud,
with
yeah.
Okay.
Mel to get a posting up on the town page and on the Facebook. Yep.
Right, you can put flyers in the post office or
Okay.
the local diner or whatever, tell all your friends. The more people that participate, the better we look.
Okay,
Yep, and one of the things that we can always make an arrangement for is, I don't know if you guys see Katie's Tiny Tip Tuesdays.
Katie's, Katie, I'm on a board with Katie.
Yes,
Yeah.
so we can always, once we have that
Tiny
information,
Tip,
we
yes.
can arrange
She
for
can
her
be
to
the
put
Tip
together one of
Tuesday.
this. Yeah.
She'll be so excited.
Yes, she's constantly looking for suggestions, so
Okay.
she would be, I'm sure she'd be more than happy to.
Yeah, we're
Coordinate
friends. I talk
that.
to her on a regular basis. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Maybe I, as your committee chair, I can participate in her Tiny Tip Tuesday. Record with her.
I'm sure she would love that. She's always trying to get the ladies in the other office to be in her videos.
Yeah, I'm not dressing up in a, who was it, what was the character that just was wandering down the street
Oh,
last
the
week?
Sasquatch?
Yeah, I'm not dressing up in a Sasquatch outfit, but maybe I'll dress up as a TV. Listen, whatever's gonna make people.
But
click on
yeah,
it.
Yes.
you wanna promote it as much as possible and get as many people
Fabulous.
to participate as possible.
Okay, good. How's everyone feeling?
Good.
Fabulous?
little stressed in the beginning, like, what the hell did I get myself into? And now
It's
we're-
really
I'm
not
feeling
that
okay.
bad, honestly.
That's what
like-
they always tell us, but then here we are.
I'm gonna do
I'm
most
just
of the
kidding.
work
You're
and
doing
the
a good job.
attorney, and the attorney's gonna do most of the work.
We appreciate you.
Cool.
Oh, will we know how many subscribers there are by next meeting? I didn't know where,
pray.
I forget where that
You
was.
can.
Right.
Yeah, that'll just be in the, there should have been a letter that came with the check. And that would have said,
Okay.
I don't know where that would be filed, if anywhere.
Somewhere.
Right. So, well, you can do the math, you can find out what it is, cause there'll be, if you can just get the account, you'll see quarterly payments that are coming in, so you'll have that. Are you able to see the account? No, okay. But in the account, you'll see quarterly payments that kind of look like each other, so whatever, 13,000, 12,000, 12,500, whatever, you'll see 4 of those in a year, in a calendar year. And then there'll be this other payment that's a few hundred. That's your subscriber thing, and divide that by 0.5. Yeah, you get 50 cents per subscriber.
I thought you said 125.
No, that's the
That's a different-
percentage of sales.
Oh, 50
Yours-
cents, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so you just divide that by 0.5,
Okay.
and that's how many subscribers you have.
Why did I write that down?
I will do my darndest. That's the only thing
Yeah.
I can promise.
Okay. Any other questions? I'm gonna motion to close the meeting, so we're good, no more questions? Because after we do that, no more talking. Okay, I would like to motion to end our meeting.
I'll second it. No?
A second?
I need, so if I am doing this correctly, I think somebody else has to do the motion.
Yeah, the chair can't make the motion.
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay,
No.
so somebody else has to do the
Someone
motion.
has to make a motion, then somebody else has to second.
Yep,
I think the chair can second, I'm not 100% sure.
I'll make
And
a
then-
motion to close the meeting.
okay.
Second.
Just keep me on
And
it.
then you do all in favor. You ask all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
There you go.